Hello friends, welcome to this channel. Here in this video, we will discuss about sense of entitlement. First of all, have you heard about sense of entitlement? What a sense of entitlement is? An attitude that someone deserves special treatment or attention for something they didn't work for is known as a sense of entitlement. In other words, those who have this mentality think they are entitled to everything without ever contributing anything in return. Children sometimes exhibit a positive feeling of entitlement. Children rely on their caretakers at all phases of development. However, as kids get older and more independent, asking for help from others becomes less useful and detracts from trying to become self-sufficient. In this video, we'll examine the indicators of a sense of entitlement, its effects, and coping mechanisms for dealing with this problem both internally and externally. What the signs of a sense of entitlement are. If you're unsure whether someone you know might have an entitlement complex, take a look at the traits listed below and decide if they apply. A person with a sense of entitlement typically has a self-absorbed perspective on life and little thought for how their actions affect other people. A personality disorder may include a severe case of entitlement thinking, for example, narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder. There are signs of a sense of entitlement, that is. 1. They believe they are deserving of favors. People with an entitlement mentality anticipate receiving special privileges and preferential treatment in life without considering why they merit such treatment. Their view is the world owes me. For instance, they can believe that because they deserve special treatment, an organization's policies shouldn't apply to them. 2. They believe they deserve more from life than what they now have. They constantly think they should have more, no matter what they have. They expect to improve their standard of living without making the necessary efforts. 3. They believe that because of who they are, how powerful they are, or how much money they have, people should do things for them. They believe that everyone should go out of their way to assist them once they have attained a certain degree of success. They will attempt to convince the other party that they are wrong and that it is a terrible thing to disagree with them if someone has an issue with them or does not agree with what they are doing. 4. They prioritize their needs over everyone else's needs. Do not expect them to stop what they are doing to assist you if you ask for something. Even if doing so prevents you from having time to attend to your own obligation, they believe it is your responsibility to make sure they have all they need. They will make a big scene if you don't yield to their requests. When something does not go their way, they can act in a very theatrical way. You are aware that it is advisable to avoid a friend or family member who behaves in this way. Otherwise, they'll try to undermine you in order to appear better. 5. They portray themselves as victims and attribute their difficulties to other people or external factors. Someone with a sense of entitlement is likely someone in your life who feels that horrible things always happen to them. Someone with this mindset feels that the world owes them and that it is the responsibility of others to improve their lives. 6. They are continually seeking others' respect and praise. Narcissism and a sense of entitlement go hand in hand. People who are solely concerned with themselves and what makes them feel good may be quite needy when it comes to compliments and attention from others. 7. They suffer from insecurity in private. While someone with a sense of entitlement may come across as haughty or self-assured, this might be a mask for underlying insecurity or the worry that they don't have enough respect, money, or support. Alongside melancholy and isolation from others, this anxiety and insecurity can also manifest. What impact it has on other people around. People who feel entitled often embrace goals based on their own self-image, which puts them in conflict with other people. While they may be able to present an outward appearance of being polite and well-mannered, research indicates that this is all for show and that they do not truly feel this way about themselves or the people around them. According to a different study, entitlement can be harmful. According to Case Western Reserve University researchers, entitled people are more likely to suffer from persistent disappointment, unfulfilled expectations, and a self-perpetuating cycle of behavior that puts them at risk for psychological or social harm. When someone feels superior to others, anything that threatens their worldview is treated with rage and defensiveness. The more they are hindered by societal norms, the more incensed they become about these injustices, which creates a vicious cycle. How to avoid feelings of entitlement. People with a sense of entitlement may find it difficult, but it is possible to get rid of it and develop new habits in order to become more independent. Here are some tips for overcoming a feeling of entitlement. 1. Recognize the entitlement-related feeling. Do not let that affect how you live. If you're having trouble identifying the emotion, consider previous occasions when you felt entitled, and then consider how closely that emotion is like the one you're experiencing right now. 2. Recognize that you have no rights whatsoever. Unfortunately, you owe nothing to the world. Life is unfair, so instead of whining about what you should have but don't, try to make the most of what you have. 3. Without expecting anything in return, find ways to assist people. How is it possible to help others without wanting anything in return? Simply give of your time. If you want something in exchange for your services, think of the pleasure you will have knowing that you have aided those who are less fortunate than you. 4. Understand the distinction between wants and necessities. It might be difficult for those who feel entitled to distinguish between needs and wants. Making wise, healthy selections becomes quite challenging since you are continually wanting more than you actually need. Instead, put your attention on what you actually require instead of what you merely want. 5. Consider what you can control rather than what you cannot. Only your own thoughts, feelings, actions, and reactions are under your control. Stop paying attention to what others are doing or how they are reacting to circumstances. Instead, concentrate on making changes to the aspects of your life that you can. 6. No matter how tiny or unimportant it may seem at the time, learn to be grateful for anything that is wonderful in your life. Think about all the things you currently have in your life, such as a home, a family or friends, good health, etc. Spend a time feeling grateful for everything you have and remember that many individuals would give anything to be in your shoes. 7. Consider the impact your inflated sense of entitlement is having on the people in your life. How has your sense of entitlement impacted other people? Has failing to meet your standards caused them to unintentionally feel guilty or resentful? If so, keep in mind that other people have their own lives and feelings to live. The way someone treats you may not always be an indication of how much they value you. 8. Because no one else will do it for you, take care of yourself and be kind to yourself. Being friendlier to oneself might help you overcome self-entitlement, which may seem paradoxical. It can be challenging or perhaps impossible for you to take care of your own needs when you feel entitled. Instead, because you are relying on others to look after you, you risk slipping into a state of self-neglect. Remember this. Always keep in mind that change of any kind isn't always simple. However, it will be worthwhile. Consider asking a mental health professional for advice if you're having problems adjusting to these changes on your own. They can assist you in identifying the underlying problems that have given rise to a sense of entitlement. It's critical to realize that seeking out counseling or therapy is not a show of weakness. Instead, it can be a sign that you've realized you need to change and want to make improvements to your life and relationships with others.